Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you haven't seen my last video that I posted, which was about what I bought or what people had made or given me for surgery, there's that video as well. So today we're going to be talking about my port surgery because I do now have a port. But this is kind of going to be talking about surgery and the recovery. So the reason why I got a port is because I have a condition called P.O.T.S, or postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which leaves my body in a constant state of dehydration. Now, since my body doesn't absorb or retain water well, I have to get IV fluids a lot. So after months, like a long time, of every nurse that tried to get IV, they would always be like, you need a port. And I'm not just talking about being a hard stick, I'm talking about hours with a ultrasound machine and then finally getting a vein for it to blow within seconds. So after that had been going on for a while, all of my doctors agreed it was time to place the port because of how frequent I need IV fluids and how frequently I was being hospitalized because of my GI issues. So that referral got sent out for a surgeon near my house because all my specialists are over 2 hours away from my house. So I got a surgeon to place my port near my house. So I was actually admitted into a hospital when we got the call saying that I had an appointment for a surgical consult for my port, which was less than a week from when that referral was sent out. Then I got out of the hospital on Tuesday, saw him Wednesday, and he then scheduled my surgery for the following Tuesday, and he had already scheduled my port surgery before he met us. He looked at my case, knew that it was time to place my port, and already scheduled it. So when we walked in, he kind of was like, yep, sounds like it's time. Your surgery is on Tuesday. Come in at 5 a.m. because I was the first surgery. So now that surgery was less than a week from whenever we saw my surgeon. So then we got the call to tell us what we needed to do before surgery, which was basically all the normal stuff that you have to do to prep for surgery. So like dial soap that's antibacterial before you go in that morning, and stuff like that. So I got there at the hospital at 5 a.m. I get taken back to the room where they prep you until somewhere around 6, and my surgery was at 7. So then we do the blood test, the urine test, all that fun stuff that you have to do before you can actually have the surgery. And then they brought in a doll that has a port, and they kind of just show you how they access it and what the port looks like and everything like that. So the port I have is called the power port. It is actually purple and it has 3 bumps on it, and when you access it, you put the needle in between those 3 bumps. So then I got taken back to surgery. Now because I wake up really slow, they slowly gave me the anesthesia to put me asleep and only gave me enough to put me to sleep because they wanted to make sure I woke up okay. Now when I did wake up from surgery, I was coughing a lot. So when I woke up from surgery, my heart rate was really high, my blood oxygen was really low, And we already knew I was going to have to be monitored after surgery because of the fact that I have coded in the past and I was on life support. So 3-ish months prior to the surgery. So he wanted to monitor regardless, but since I woke up coughing and then my blood oxygen was low, my heart rate was high and everything like that, then it was definitely, we were getting monitored. Now, in this particular children's hospital, the only floor that does monitoring is the ICU. So they kept me overnight and I was in the ICU for them to monitor me. Now, my blood oxygen continued to go back up to normal range and then drop and go up and drop, and my heart rate was constantly high for resting. But I have P.O.T.S, so the high heart rate wasn't concerning, it was more the blood oxygen. But that ended up leveling out and I got to go home the next day. So this is an incision and up here has an incision. So if you don't know what they do for port surgery, they make an incision and they put the port that you access in here, like directly underneath that incision. And then up here is where they put the tubing that then runs into your heart. So yeah, that's what my port looks like almost a week after. And I have to keep my port covered at all times until I think Wednesday of this week, when I get access for fluids. And then I just have to keep it dry until these incisions are completely healed. After it's completely healed, it won't matter unless I'm accessed. Now, the recovery for me wasn't that bad. So even though I woke up coughing and all that whole ordeal, the actual port itself was just a little sore. I honestly didn't need any sort of pain medication for the surgery. I was perfectly fine. I mean, I could feel it, but it wasn't unbearable or anything. Whenever I woke up accessed to run fluids, so I had a tubey clip and that helped take the pressure off the port since I just had surgery. And then after I was out of the hospital, my best friend was ice, and so it's like a port pillow and it has a pocket that puts an ice pack to ice my port. That's what I did. That was my favorite thing. But yeah, recovery, well, I'm still recovering, but the surgery itself was not that bad. Pretty simple surgery. So yeah. But if you are getting this surgery to place a port, your experience might be different from mine, and that's just because everyone's experience will be different. That's just my experience with getting my port placed. So I hope you guys enjoyed and thank you for watching. Bye.